Guys, just for today, because we got a longer gap time. So how many people remember? I don't know. So guys, this is one of the questions interview. What did you learn in your training? What are the things or what are the topics you learned in the training? Okay, that is also a question. Some people confuse in the that kind of simple question also. Even I have asked some question people like, what did you learn in your engineering? So people are almost like a confused. They don't know what to give an answer. Okay, this kind of stuff. I don't know what they studied in their college or organization. So whatsoever it is, it's a question. So that's why first of all I want to go through all the things. Just what is the name of the things what we discuss. Okay, just a overview kind of stuff till now what we are discussed. Then we will start the next one. Okay. So what is your system configuration? How to check system configuration? So what is your CPU? What is your RAM? What is your hard disk? What is your operating system? And any other information. So how to check those things out, how to put in a one place, that is we discussed. Second one is about NICs, MAC address and IP address. Every device has an NIC to connect in the network, whether it is a wireless or wired. Okay, so wireless way of connectivity or wired connectivity, there is a every device must have an NIC. Every NIC has a MAC address. MAC address is also called as a physical address. MAC address is also called as physical address. MAC address is 48-bit represented in 12 hexadecimal number. To check the MAC address, you can use the command called get MAC or ipconfig space /all. Okay, next one is an IP address, guys. Every NIC, at least it should be assigned with an IP address. So when you are communicating in the network, you will communicate with an IP addresses only. Every device should communicate with an IP addresses only, either IPv4 or IPv6 kind of communication. Okay, these IP addresses you can check it using a command called ipconfig or ipconfig space /all. Okay, so you will get IP address, subnet mask and default gateway from ipconfig with ipconfig all. So additionally you are getting your physical address, which is nothing but a MAC address. Okay, DHCP server address, DNS server address, lease uptime, lease expiry, and DHCP enabled yes or no. Yes means you got an IP address from DHCP server. So you got this IP address from DHCP server. What is my DHCP server? This is a DHCP server. DHCP enabled no means this is an IP address which is configured by manually. So I configured manually. Okay. DHCP enabled, yes. DHCP enabled. No, yes means you got an IP address from DHCP server. No means user configured an IP address to the adapter. Okay, guys, and also you can check the IP address from ncpa.cpl or go to control panel, network and sharing center, and change adapter settings. So then network connections window open. So go to your adapter, double click and click on details. You will find IP address, subnet mask, default gateway, DHCP server address, DNS server address, MAC address, lease uptime, lease expiry kind of stuff. Okay. To assign an IP address, very simple. Double click on an adapter, go to properties, IPv4 and then properties. If you select use following IP address means you are configuring IP address manually. So you select the first option, that is a obtain IP address automatically. Means you want to get an IP address from DHCP server and you will select the first option. So then you will get an IP address from DHCP server. So you don't want to get an IP address from DHCP, or you don't have any DHCP server, then you will select a second option, which is use following IP address you are giving manually. Okay. In general, we are all getting an IP address from DHCP server. So you may not see DHCP server as a server separately. Why? Because of in our home Wi-Fi network, so our Wi-Fi router act like a DHCP server. So we are not using separate DHCP server. It act like a DHCP server. Okay, like this. Okay, sometimes you check the IP address if it is showing 169.254. Something dot something. Yeah, hello. Sorry. Okay, if you see any IP address is 169.254 means it's a PIPA address. So the adapter it is unable to get an IP address from DHCP server, then system has an IP address in the range of 169.254.0.1 to 169.254.255.254. The range is a PIPA range, automatic private IP address. Okay, that is the thing. And we discussed about networking basics, guys. Interconnection of two or more devices called a network. Networking means communication between interconnected devices is called a networking. Okay, internetwork or internetworking. So what is internetwork? Connection of two or more networks, and communication between the different networks is called a internetworking. Okay, so we use a router to inter-networking purpose because router is an inter-networking device which connects and communicates between different networks. As based on the geographical range, we have a different type of LAN networks: LAN network, CAN network, MAN network, WAN network, kind of stuff. Local area network, campus area network, metropolitan area network, and a wide area network. Of course, personal area network, home area networks, and storage area network, different other network types also there. LAN is a local network, it is your private network, so you will communicate within the a room, or the size of the LAN is can be within the room or within the floor or within the building. Whereas a CAN, it's a campus area network within the campus. All the devices are connected in the campus. They will communicate within the campus. That is campus area network. MAN, so within a city, so metropolitan area network it is. So we are able to communicate within the city, not outside of city. Global network it is. What is a WAN network? Global network, public network means inter in a globally different places, different type of servers we can able to communicate through WAN connectivities. And what is intranet, internet,
Hello.
extranet kind of stuff? Yeah, tell me.
So, metropolitan area network, sir, it is applied on Delhi Metro, like all the metro stations. There are
Yeah, metro.
man network.
Have you heard this one? Like it's an example. MTN. In generally, in our metropolitans may not be applied this man. Okay, so that's the question. Just guys, I'm just telling the names which we are already discussed. Okay, so just for our recollection purpose only, not really teaching. If you want doubt, if you got any doubt or you want anything repetition, you can tell me. I will repeat that point. Okay, now just I'm reading it. Okay, just for your recollection purpose. Recollecting is the best method to remember things for longer period of time. Okay, just read it and leave it. We will forget. That's why I'm telling, keep telling. Okay, just I need a 5-10 minutes. Not, it will take time, so don't worry. Intranet and internet, guys. Intranet means local network. Private network means you have a server and you are accessing from your client PC, but both are in the same LAN network, same private network or same LAN network, called a intranet. What is internet? So your server or your remote destination machine is outside of your network, so you have to access through internet. Okay, that is a internet. Okay, so here you can see I've written about a default gateway. Whenever you want to communicate within the network, you have to go through the, you don't need to go through any router or a modem kind of stuff. Okay, so within the network you don't require default gateway, but when you are communicating outside of your network, you are communicating, you have to go through the default gateway. Sometimes the router is act like a default gateway, and whatever the router we are using, so nowadays the Wi-Fi router, it is it is act like it is a combination of multiple things, not compulsory, but still certain routers are like this, like a modem. Router is in built-in modem is there, routing kind of stuff is there, wireless access point, switcher hub kind of stuff. Plus it is act like a default gateway, and it is also your DHCP server and your DNS server. When you check an IP address like a IP config space slash all, okay, so you can observe from your output, so your default gateway, DHCP, DNS, all are same IP addresses. Why? Because of your router is your DHCP, DNS, and default gateway also. Okay, and also we discussed about coaxial cables, twisted pair cables, and fiber optical cables. Coaxial cables. Okay, coaxial cables having a center core conductor cable is there, which is actually transmitting the data through it. And outer is having some insulation with uh, copper mesh kind of structure. Okay, so what is that one? It will protect your signal from electromagnetic interference, which causing the crosstalk. Next one is twisted pair cable. What is twisted pair cable? It is a pair of wires that twist each other, and totally 4 wires are in the same cable. That is general length. Okay, so in this one, unshielded twisted pair and shielded twisted pair cable. Unshielded twisted pair cable does not contain a shielding, and shielded twisted pair cable having a shielding. Okay, so why we need these number of twists? Number of twists increases, attenuation decreases. Attenuation decreases, the speed of data transmission increases. Copper mesh to protect data transmission from electromagnetic interference. Okay, in HTTP we have a shielding. The shielding is used to as a electromagnetic interference. Okay, so these are the RJ45 registered jack. 45 is a standard number for connecting sockets or connectors kind of stuff. And these wires are color coded. So blue, orange, green, brown kind of wires. Each are with a paired with a white, brown, white, orange, white, green, and white, brown. And now these are the cables we can able to connect. Different type of category of cables are there, guys. Cat 1, Cat 2, Cat 3, Cat 4, Cat 5, Cat 6, Cat 7, Cat 6 up to there. Cat 6 is a 1 Gbps data transmission speed. Cat 5 is a 500 to 600 Mbps. Cat 5 is a 100 Mbps uh, data transmission speed. Okay, so we use a different tools to make a one cable and to test certain cables. Okay,
Sir,
this is, yeah, tell me.
basically the 5G launch which is going to be in India, then we will use Cat 6 type of cables. No?
5G is a wireless internet, right?
Yes,
So
sir.
it's a kind, it's not Wi-Fi, but it is data connections. So the
And
actually the antenna, the original signal provider use fiber
yes,
optical cables.
okay,
Okay.
fiber optic. I thought that
Cat
Cat
6 we
6.
are already using Cat 6.
Acha, okay, sir.
Okay. The main signal is the main the to tower up to tower. It's a fiber optical cable.
Okay, sir.
Okay, satellite or underground fiber optical cables. Everything is a maximum fiber optical because we are thinking like a 1 Gbps, but
Yes,
take it as a 10-20 connections from one piece, one from one. That is, the Cat 6 is not enough. Then we need a bigger, right?
okay, sir. So, sir, I had one question. Sir,
Tell me,
when would be India completely 5G?
that is, I don't know.
Yes,
It
sir, just
depends
asking.
upon government
Yes, sir. No, sir. What's your view at things? I
and
want
the
to know that.
competition.
Yes, sir.
If you there is a big story in backend,
Yes, sir.
so I don't know how government will toss things between the companies. We don't know.
Okay, okay.
Earlier days, we don't have mobile kind of communication. So that time, that
Yes,
type of time of government, like before Atal Bihari Vajpayee and Atal
yes,
Bihari Vajpayee, that time they given a lot of free kind of stuff like a startup companies,
yes, sir.
Tata, Idea, and
Okay,
Vodafone. Okay,
yes, sir.
so Docomo, so many Reliance, World Reliance, CDMA, GSM. They got
Yes, sir.
a lot of price for a competition. Very less price they are given.
Yes, sir.
So slowly, because of COG recommendations, very high suddenly
Yes,
in a,
sir.
in a, in a Manmohan Singh time. But Manmohan Singh time they given for a golden prices only. So still
Yes,
that time mobile prices are very less. Now Geo enter after long time.
yes,
Entire
sir.
thing we become tossed.
Yes,
Okay, the 5G again the license has to be sold and license has to be purchased. So maybe government will give freely, free offers, or
yes,
maybe
sir.
paid, or a favoritism. We don't know.
I think 2025 it would be done.
My
No.
opinion is a sincere opinion is better to remove all this kind of stuff. Put a 2G. That is enough for people.
Yes, sir.
Unnecessary
How it?
things will be reduced. 80, ninety
Yes, sir.
percent unnecessary things, the TikToks, Instagrams, nothing will come from there. That will be
Yes, sir.
reduced. So then data and the data centers will be reduced.
Yes, sir.
Our
Okay, sir.
normal pages will open better.
Yeah, yes,
Yeah.
sir.
Normal pages will open. Quality of service improves. People are even when my time, guys. Sorry, I'm just not diverting, but I'm telling to YouTube means for learning something. Like
Yes,
I
sir.
want a new technology, I want to learn. So I have to search, someone will teach in a YouTube. I don't know how to install, I will search in YouTube. That too very less small loading kind of stuff only. Okay. Now YouTube means nonsense. Okay. Who wants this kind of stuff? This is nonsense. So this much of
Yes,
nonsense is there in YouTube. Okay, this is okay, this is Python. So this is a nonsense, right? Political
yes, sir.
nonsense, advertisement nonsense, this priest kind of nonsense. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Even there is a lot of waste content, worst content, not waste content. It's a worst content, interviews and all nonsense. That will be
Yes, sir.
reduced first. Okay, guys, sorry. Um, Fiber optical cables, main source of internet. Our regular internet is a fiber optical cables only, not a satellite. Fiber optic cable, and a fiber optical cable is made up of glass. It is used in a there is no electromagnetic interference. Okay, we use light wave as a signal. Okay, it is used for very long distance communication and very high speed data transmission. If we are not using in a regular LAN communication, we use a regular LAN communication is UTP STP cables only. But we are using for a server to server or maybe server to storages, high speed the switching and routing places. So we use a fiber optic cables and also use it for a very long distance communication. Okay, these are some equipment like you have a desktop or a server, you want to connect with a fiber optic cable, so you need a NIC kind of stuff that is called HBA and cables and connectors. Okay, so this is the point I told. Okay, I didn't given the picture, so you can want to go to submarine cable map, so you can see the how cables are going through underground. Okay, so next one is networking devices. Okay, so different devices are there. One is a hub. Hub is a non-intelligent device, does not understand MAC address and IP address. Okay, it broadcasts the packets to every device in the network. Okay, it broadcasts the packets to every device in the network. For example, you want to send a packet from A to B, but the same packet is sent to other devices also, other connected devices also. That is how hub works. It is used for LAN communication, suitable for small networks. As per OSI, it is a layer 1 device, it's a physical layer. Okay, of course, it is a single broadcast domain and single collision domain. So what that is the point, one point is. And next one is a repeater. Repeater is repeat the signal, so then we can send a signal to longer distances. Normal our cables, these cables up support up to 100 meters. So you need to communicate more than 100 meters, then we may need a repeater. I'm giving one example, that is Wi-Fi extender is an example for a repeater. Why? Because of nowadays we are all connected Wi-Fi kind of stuff. Yeah, you ask one question, right? So that's a 5G kind of stuff. If you want, you can
Yes, sir.
search for technology called a Li-Fi.
Li-Fi. Okay.
This is a Li-Fi. So this
Okay,
is
sir.
a Li-Fi. It is a light-based data transmission.
Okay.
Okay. So it is like this. Just you have to go and sit. The light will transmit the data.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
Okay. This is this thing I have seen so many years back, almost like 2013, 10 years back.
Okay.
Okay.
So, sir, this
So
is launched or it will launch? What's the status of
now
this?
still research is going on.
Okay, sir.
Okay. It is only for research papers, tech news things. It
Yes,
is
sir.
good. Okay, that's why I never go through that kind of stuff. I will go through always Amazon, Flipkart.
Okay.
Already launched working one is you will get that information.
Yes, sir.
not something imaginary kind of stuff. Okay, so this is a technology, which is life a technology. Okay, yeah, you can search, no problem. That is a good, you have to know things. Okay, so I am giving an example, guys. It is most of us we are connected through Wi-Fi only. So when we use a desktop last time, also a lot of people don't know. Okay, mobile phones, tablets, that is more preferable nowadays. Even laptop also become a very less, sir. Okay, a lot of people don't know what is the computer, laptop. Okay, so you have a laptop or a mobile phone, so you have to get a signal from your Wi-Fi. Maybe if you are located little longer distance is there, so you're sitting in a different rooms, different length is there, you may not get a signal, full signal you are not getting. So what you do, we use a Wi-Fi extender. So then Wi-Fi extender receive a main signal from your Wi-Fi router, and then it is take the signal and repeat the signal. So then your mobile phone, laptop, or any wireless connecting devices will get a full signal. That's a Wi-Fi extender. Okay, switches, again, switches an intelligent device. It understand MAC address, not IP address. It understand MAC address. It will create a MAC address table. So like that. Okay, and we are using for LAN communication, and switch is a layer to device as per the OS layer, which is data link layer, and we use for small and large networks. We can connect a large number of devices to a single switch, or in a big star topology like extended star also you can connect it like this. Okay, and switch is initially broadcast the packets to every device in the network just like a hub. But once it is learn the MAC address of the devices, and it create a MAC address table by mapping MAC address of a devices and a port number of switch. Okay, using this MAC table or MAC address table MAT, okay, it unicast the messages. Okay, so I said switch is a L2 device, means layer 2 device, but there is a L3 switches also there. L3 switches is function like a both switch as well as a switch functionality and a router functionality, both are there. Okay. Again, what is a router? Router is a also intelligent device, understand IP address. It is a layer 3 device as well as a layer network layer. Router is a inter-networking device. It connects and communicates between the different networks. So router is works in both LAN communication and a WAN communication also. Router means route means path. The router it shows best path to reach the destination. Router using a routing table to know how to reach the destination. Routers using a routing table to get to know how to reach the destination. These routing tables can be created manually, that is called static routing, and also it can be created automatically using certain routing protocols called a dynamic routing. Okay, what are these dynamic routing protocols? Are RIP, AZRP, OSPF, BGP, ISIS. These are all different routing protocols are there. Like you are want to reach. Okay, sorry. Here it is. You want to know how you reach the destination, which is not in your network, of course, which is outside of your network. You are able to reach outside of your physical and logical network through the router. So then router is telling how to reach the destination. For example, you know the Google server. Google server is located somewhere in this world. And traceRT is a command will tell you how you reach the destination. Ping is a command will tell you whether you are able to reach the destination or not. Okay, are you able to reach the destination or not? So packet goes to destination, and packet and destination, from destination again we receive the packet. Packet will go and receive. You send and receive same packet. actually. Okay, that's a you will get a reply from destination. You will get a reply from destination IP address means ping is successful. If you got any other details like a destination host not reachable, request time dot means ping is not successful. Ping is successful means again you got a reply from destination IP address means your ping is successful. Ping is will tell you whether you are able to reach the destination or not. Trace RT will tell you how you reach the destination. Okay, so I reached my destination from my system to the remote PC, my system to my gateway to the my ISP to some other routers finally. Okay, it reached the destination. This is how I reached the destination. Guys, next device is a modem. Modem is a modulator and demodulator. So it modulates the signal and for a sending for a longer distances. Like from your home, you have a digital kind of signal, and this signal means your network communication signal will convert into the telephone through has to be sent through the telephone wires or a fiber optic cable to ISP, right? You have to connect it to ISP to get internet. How you connect from your modem to ISP through the telephone cable, fiber optic cable, regular twisted pair cables also will use it. So modem make you to connect it to ISP, and of course when you connect ISP we will give you internet. So modem connects you to internet. Okay, we need a modem to connect to the internet. Of course, already I told our Wi-Fi routers having a built-in modems. So then, so you don't know where the modem is. You know, but certain networks are there. For example, U broadband is there. So they have a separate fiber optical modem to connect to the fiber optical kind of stuff to through ISP. Will they will connect fiber optical connectivity? Fiber optical modem is there. So they received internet up to modem. From modem to any one device, we can able to connect it. Any one device, we can able to connect it. But in our home, we have multiple devices that too wired and wireless devices are there. So then we are connecting our Wi-Fi router there. The Wi-Fi router will distribute internet to our local devices. Okay. So your Wi-Fi router is if you don't get it, no problem. Understand modem. That's it. And placements also. Guys, physical topology, logical topology. The way of devices connected physically, how you connected. You take a PC or other PC, how you connected that based on that, it is a physical topology. Logical topology is based on how you configure an IP address, IP networks only. Different type of topologies are there, guys. Bus topology, ring topology, mesh topology, star topology, point to point topology, hybrid topology, point to multi-point topology. Different type of topologies are there. Bus topology is very simple. There is a backbone wire. Devices are directly connected to the backbone wire. That is a bus topology. It's simple to configure. Of course, it is little scalable, but there is a problem. Wherever the cable is got a certain problem, like a cable got a cut, then remaining devices won't communicate. Okay, no further communication part. Okay, next one is a ring topology, guys. A one device is connected to another device, other device is connected to another device, other device is connected to other device, and finally last device is connected to first device. So that is ring topologies. And mesh topology, one device is connected to all other devices. If any of the device is down or a cable is broken, no problem, still we can able to communicate. So that's why it is a mesh topology is a highly redundant and a reliable topology, but still we don't use mesh topology because it's very difficult to troubleshoot and very complex to configure. Another one is a star topology. Star topology. There is a centralized device called a hub or a switch, and the device is directly connected to hub or a switch only. Okay, so it is how star is created. Star is simple to configure, easy to troubleshoot, and it is easy to scalable. So you can connect multiple devices in the star topology and extended star topology. Point to point means if you connect two devices directly, that is called point to point. If you connect a device to multiple devices directly, point to multi point. So one of the point to multi point example is switch and connecting with the other devices. Next one is a tree topology, guys. Tree topology means a backbone wire is there and others different topologies are directly connected to this backbone topology. Simplex, duplex, off duplex kind of stuff, and unicast, multicast, broadcast, anycast also we discuss. Here we discuss already ping, trace RT, ipconfig, all these commands already I told. Getmac I told. Okay, that's enough. So if you have any chance, then you can try other one. OS system interconnect, guys. It is having 7 layers. Okay, understand, create a and troubleshoot a network related kind of stuff. You want to troubleshoot a network related, OS layer is useful. You want to create a new network you are creating, so then OS layer is helpful. You want to understand any protocol suite or a network, OS layer is helpful to understand. And we don't use any OSI protocol suite kind of stuff. We are using TCP/IP protocol suite. TCP/IP protocol suite. Okay. This OS layer actually it is built from the IEEE only in Institute of Electrical and Electronics Engineering with a general number of 802. That's why the devices like Ethernet, Wi-Fi kind of stuff are given with these number 802.3, 802.11 is also standard numbers for networking. ISO is a recognized. This is a standard model. Okay, it is standardized by ISO, International Organization for Standardization. Okay, OS layers: application layer, presentation layer, session layer, transport layer, network layer, data link layer, and a physical layer. So here it is last 3 layers: bottom layers, hardware layers, network and data link, and physical layers are hardware layers. So hardware devices is there. Router is comes under L3 device, which is a L2 device, hub is a L1 device. And coming to the transport layer, it is end-to-end connectivity at sort of voice layer. Application layer, presentation layer is upper layer, and software layer. Application layer is about a application part of your data communication, like a application layer means client side application, server side application. So server side application provide a service, so then client side application will access the service, right? So, and while understanding of services, we need a protocols and port numbers for that kind of stuff. So different protocols and port numbers: HTTP, HTTPS. Difference between HTTP, HTTPS: first of all, both are for a web related communication to get a web pages. So then we use HTTP and HTTPS. But HTTP, the data is sending and receiving without any encryption, but HTTPS use an encryption to secure our data. So that's the thing. S means secure or SSL. FTP 2021 for uploading and downloading of files. SSH 22 is a remote access with the encryption part is there. Okay. SSH is also used to access to access the SSH server, we use SSH protocol. Same thing for a telnet. So for remote devices you want to access, You can use a telnet or SSH, but SSH is a secure one and telnet is a not secure. No encryption is there in telnet. RDP for remote desktop purposes. SMTP, POP3 and IMAP3 are for a mail communication. So SMTP is for sending a mails, POP3 is for receiving mails, IMAP is used also for retrieving a mails from the mail server. TFTP, Trivial File Transfer Protocol, used for a backup configuration file, upload and download a configuration file, which generally, as I know. And DHCP DNS. Okay, DHCP, it is server which assign an IP address to the client. DHCP, the client machine, so will send a request to DHCP server. DHCP server will give an IP address. DNS, guys, all communications by IP address in the world, but only thing is a lot of people cannot remember their name numbers. Okay, so what to do? It's a DNS 53. Sorry, I just stopped suddenly. You know the names, right? DOCS.google.com, studio.youtube.com, www.youtube.com, facebook.com. Okay, we know the names, so then we can easily recognize and we can remember the names of websites. But so system don't understand names, it required an IP address. Okay, so you must have an IP address of your server. Okay, but still we are using a names, not IP address. To communicate, we need an IP address, but we are using a names. So what happen if you are using a www.google.com or a facebook.com or youtube.com, then request go to the DNS server. DNS server returns with your IP address. Okay, next one is NTP. I am explaining completely. Okay. Same as for a NTP, Network Time Protocol, Kerberos and LDAP for authentication protocol. SNMP is for a user to for monitoring purpose. Presentation layer, encoding, decoding, compression, decompression, encryption, and a de-encryption. What is encoding, decoding? So data format will be changes. Okay, compress and decompress data will be compressed and decompressed at a receiving end. Data while it is sending encrypted and while it is receiving, it is decrypted. Session layer maintain the session. So whenever a request you are sending and you will get a response from the server, once you received a complete transaction, so then session will be completed. Till the time it will maintain the session, any interruption of network will occur, then maybe a termination of session also will happen in middle. Transport layer chop the data into small parts that called segmenting, and also it put a numbering and sequencing. And connectivity and error correction. Okay, next it do multiplexing and demultiplexing of TCP and UDP type protocols. TCP UDP protocols are transmission control protocol, user datagram protocol. We are using a different type of protocols in the communication. Okay, we use a different type of protocols in the communication. There is a TCP type protocols are there, UDP type protocols are there. TCP type protocols are behavioral is based on source no destination is received a packet or not by acknowledgement from the destination. In UDP protocol, so source don't know whether destination is received a packet or not. So that is a UDP type protocol. See, HTTP, SMTP, FTP, example for a TCP type protocol, DHCP, TFTP, auto belongs to UDP protocol. DNS actually TCP and UDP type. Network layer, sorry, you should not jump now. This part is there. Also, it will control the data flow, okay, using a flow control and windowing, like while transmitting data. Okay, and in transmit at a transport layer, we have a data packet called a PDU, means data from session layer will add it with the TCP header, and it creates a segment. The segment, okay, so it creates a segment. This segment will send to the network layer. The network layer okay. Network layer is routed protocols and routing protocols. So network layer will take care of your IP addresses, okay, and or logical addresses, and routing information also will be added at a network layer. So your network header is added to your segment, means your source IP address and destination IP address is adding to your segment. Then we got a packet. This packet is sent to the data link layer. In data link layer, actually having two sub layers called LLC and a MAC address. MAC layer. LLC layer is if it is a communication through WAN communication, then it is adding of WAN protocols information there. If not, then it is only MAC address. But so LLC, logical ring control, which is actually added details of your WAN protocols information, and MAC layer is actually adding with the MAC address related information. 48-bit MAC address is a logical address. Sorry, MAC address is a physical address. IP address is a logical address. MAC address is a physical address. It is 48-bit represented in 12 hexadecimal. Source MAC address, destination MAC address is added to packet, then it is added to CRC, cyclic redundancy check, used for error checking. So data link layer used to error checking, and transport layer is doing error correction. Finally, the outcome of the data link layer is become frame. This frame is sent to the physical layer. The physical layer converts the frame into the bit stream. Bit stream is converted different type of signals, electrical signal, radio wave signals, and 5 light wave signals, radio wave signal, electrical signal, depends upon the media or connectivity you are using. Okay, and comparison OSA and TCP IP, guys, it's for only comparison purpose only. Really, OSA and TCP is, lot of people think from OSA TCP came. No. Okay. Application layer, presentation layer, session layer, transport layer, network layer, data link layer, and physical layer. Now OSA layer is in a TCP. Application, presentation, session layer, combinedly a application layer. Transport layer is transport layer, network layer become internet layer, data link and physical layer become network access layer. We are using TCP IP protocol suite. Yeah, that's we are discussing. Yeah, tell me.
Sir, what is the major difference between OSI and TCP IP?
OS is a reference model. We don't use practically TCP OSA type of services or anything we are using. We are all using TCP IP protocol suite only. We assign an IP address to TCP IP protocol suite only. Okay. OS is for understanding how network is going on, if you got an issue, and how to find issue related kind of stuff. For example, I open a website, it is telling unauthorized access or no access kind of stuff. Maybe it is, um, sometimes got this error. You have seen sometimes you open a website, so you will get
Yes,
this.
sir.
So what is encryption, certification related issues, encryption related issues.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Okay. So where it is located, encryption presentation layer. Okay. So like that, so we can understand session layer, application layer issues. Okay. Issue can be understand. Okay. So to understand what is an issue is occur, what kind of issues occur. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Uh, to troubleshoot according to it. So YSL layers are helpful. Or you want to design a new network. You want to design a new network. Also YSL layer is helpful. But in our systems, by default, we have a TCP/IP only. Okay, all we communicating TCP/IP protocol suite. The last one I told this, and um, okay, just for a revision purpose. IP addresses is another part. Logical addressing. IP address is nothing but your logical address. Uniquely identify a device in the network. IP address is a uniquely identify a device in the network. IP address is not unique address, but identify a device in the network. To communicate in the network, guys, every device must have an IP address. To communicate in the network, every device must have an IP address. So device having a NIC, the NIC is assigned with an IP address, right? In general, I'm telling you, okay? So when you are communicating from one device to another device, we use an IP address. So IP address is a logical address, MAC address is a physical address. IP address, we have public, private IP addresses, and IP address can be changeable, but MAC address cannot be changeable. There is no private or public kind of IP address. It is a fixed on your NIC. IP address, generally we have two versions, IPv4 and IPv6. So IPv4 is 32-bit and IPv6 is 128-bit. MAC address is 48-bit, 12 hexadecimal number it is. Okay, so this is how IPv4 and IP MAC addresses look like. And remember, always all communications by IP address only. And we have IPv4 and IPv6. IPv4 is 32-bit. IPv6 is 128-bit. IPv4 4.3 billion IP addresses. IPv6 2 to the power 3.4 billions of IP addresses. IPv4, it is represented in decimal format. IPv6 is hexadecimal format. So
So,
IPv4 we
sir,
have a 4 octet. Yeah, tell me.
sir, basically there are 4.3 billion IP address present in the world right now.
The entire range of IPv4
Okay.
may not be used, all because of class E we are not using, right?
Yes.
So some are lost already.
Okay.
Even IPv6 also. So 1/16 part of IPv6 we are using. Only that part only released.
Okay,
There are a
sir.
lot of things are available in IPv6. Certain countries and certain companies like a private organizations using IPv6, but entire world is not in IPv6 till now. Okay.
Okay.
Mainly very big countries like America, like that countries, Still, they are not using completely IPv6
Okay.
in public sector.
Yes, sir.
Okay, guys. And in IPv4 is actually divided into 4 octets. Octet means 8 bits. Okay, these octets are separated with a dot. So we have a 4 octets. In IPv6, it is represented in hexadecimal. It contains 8 blocks and colon, divided by a colon, and each block contains 4 hexadecimals. Each block contains 4 hexadecimal, totally 8 blocks, which is separated by colon. Okay, so this is how things are there in that is a small points. So we have a different type of IPv6 kind of stuff: global unicast, local link local IP address, private IP address, multicast IP address, and different way of writing an IP address. IPv6 address is there, but I am going to IPv4 only. So it is having 4 octets, okay, divided by a dot, and octet means 8 bit, 2 to the power of 8 is a 256, means each octet maximum size is 255, 0 to 255. Okay, so we have a 4 octets: first octet, second octet, third octet, and fourth octet. Each octet is from 0 to 255, and total IPv4 range is 0.0.0.0 to 255.255.255. That is the last IP address in the IPv4. And this entire range is divided into 5 classes: Class A, Class B, Class C, Class D, Class A. Class D is the range is belongs to R&D, which we are not using. Class D also we are not using to assign to our adapter, but it is used. Class D is used by certain services, certain kind of related, like a Windows deployment services, like a boot piece services, or maybe some dynamic routing protocol services. Class D is used. And Class A, Class B, Class C are unicast addresses. Class A 0 to 127, Class B 128 to 191, Class C 192 to 223, Class D is 224 to 239, Class C 242 to 255. Class A is 0 to 127, but in certain textbooks, certain Google materials, we have 1 to 126 or a 0 to 126. Okay, or a 1 to 127, like that it is there. So what I'm trying to say, guys, we cannot assign certain IP addresses to NIC. Of course, from Class D and Class C, we can't assign. Okay, next one is 0.0.0. This IP address is unknown IP address reserved for a certain um, services purposes. It is reserved IP address. We can't assign to any adapter, and entire 0 series also we can't assign to any adapter. 127.0.0.1 is the local host or loopback IP address. It is used for a self-testing purpose. Guys, every device, their own name is localhost. I have a laptop, my laptop having a name, computer name is there, but my laptop computer name is different from your laptop computer name, right? But both are having common name called a localhost. Okay, like my name is different, your name is different, but when I'm talking about me, so I said it myself type only. So me, myself, I am. I use these words which is represent like me only, right? So that is localhost, and this localhost also having an IP address. You have to take 100 computers. Each computer should have a unique IP address, but all computers are having an IP address for itself is 127.0.0.1. Okay, we are using Class A, Class B, Class C, but we are not using a 127.0.0.1, and that entire series we can't assign to any adapter. 0.0.0.0 and 0 series, we can't assign to any other. How to recognize the IP address, which class of IP address it is? So we can recognize them by first octet. You look at the first octet and compare with the table, and you can find which class it is. Okay, you only see the first octet. Guys, IP address is divided into network portion and host portion. Okay, network portion and host portion. Network portion increases, host portion will be reduces. Network portion reduces, host portion is increases. What is this host portion? Host portion represent number of devices we can connect in a single network. Okay, we can. Okay, so it's simply like a grouping type only. It is simply a grouping type only. Um, okay, so class A, class B, class C are a unique cache IP addresses which we are assigning the IP address from class A, class B, class C to our adapters except 0 series and 127 series. Okay, and now we have this kind of stuff, right? Network portion and host portion. So class A first portion is network portion, remaining are host portion. Guys, remember, so two devices or two or more devices want to communicate each other, they must be in the same network. Means their network portion is same or a network ID must be same. So this is a different IP addresses. You can see there. Network portion is same, then they will communicate each other. They won't communicate each other if in case the network ID or a uh, network portion is different. Next one is subnet mask. Subnet mask tells what is your network ID. Okay, so how it is will tell because of subnet mask is use end operations to calculate your IP address and extract your network ID. If both devices network ID is same, they will communicate each other. They will communicate each other. Class A, Class B, Class C. So Class A default subnet mask is 255.0.0.0. Class B 255.255.0.0. Class C 255.255.255.0. So where is the N by default 255 is there. So it represent ones represent network portion, zeros represent host portion. If you write this thing in the binary format, these ones represent network, these are represents zeros represent host portions. It is nothing but just you take a network, guys. So like this, this is a network, and what is the network portion? This is the network portion. See, up to here the network portion is not changes. It means all these IP addresses, all the IP address devices are in the same logical network only. Now, okay, so this is different network because the network portion is changed. Mm. These are the private IP address, class A, class B, class C. Private IP addresses are at 10.0.0.0, 10.255.255.255 is a class A IP address. Only one network there are given. For a class B, there are given a multiple networks, almost like a 15 networks are given in a class B. 15. Okay. 172 16.0.0, 172 17.0.0, that entire network 172 16 17 18 19 20 up to 31. So 172.31.255, that is the last. So this entire 15 networks with the two others, so totally it is a very big network it is. So class B is the range, that range. Okay, class C is at almost like a 256 networks are given in on a class C. Okay. So IP private IP address is a non-routable in the public, means in internet. So guys, what are the private IP address your laptop is having, your desktop is having, your mobile phone having? If anybody knows your private IP address, means your adapter IP address, no one will touch your system because it's a private, it is internal, it is in internet, it is not useful. Through internet, anybody want to access your PC, cannot do it. NAT and PAT, network address translation, port address translation. That's simple. When you want to communicate from your private to public, you have to use public IP address. Okay, to use this public IP address in efficient manner and masking our private IP addresses and public IP address separately, we use NAT PAT technique. Generally, we are all using PAT technique, port address translation, not NAT technique. Okay, so because of I have multiple devices and one public IP, so then we use PAT, port address translation. Oh, after this one, I told network part. I told about service desk. Then also I told about a PC hardware, right? Guys, service desk, if possible, I will tell again, repeat again, but you must read about a service desk. Once take a small break, guys. Once after break, okay, I will just give you an overview from here. PC hardware components overview and today's part. I think it is not required for you. We'll see. If required, then I will tell. That is the point in the networking part, guys. Okay. Next one is in a hardware only. We have to discuss about a first storage related, means hard disk related, hard disk, SSDs, partitions, MBR, GPT, file system. If possible, if time is there, then I will tell a boot processing. Otherwise, tomorrow I will tell a boot process. Okay. I'll directly
Okay,
jump
sir.
at this part. Now take a break, guys. Take a 10 minutes of break. Come back at 4:50 is okay. It's already 4 o'clock. 10 minutes, 4:50.